Hello, hello, friends, beautiful people, beautiful souls. It is Kathryn and I'm, conscious creatrix, elevated consciousness coach. I'm here with my doggy. I am anticipating any and all who are here to join in this Collapsing the 2019 Timeline live healing and upgrade. Hi, Amanda. Happy New Year to you, my dear. I hope you have brought some water with you. We're going to do a little collapsing and upgrading tonight. On this night, here, at least in the US, the eve of New Year's Eve, the eve before New Year's Eve. I hope that you have come with some ideas of what you would like to collapse for yourself. Hi, Bonita. I can't see everybody who's here. I'm on my phone. Hi, Dina. But if you just say hello, let me know you're here. And if you are new to me and I am new to you, let me know where you're watching from tonight. I would love to know that. I am debating on whether I should just suck it up and wear my glasses or not. I just don't know what kind of glare there's going to be, but you know, why fight it? Just help myself out, right? So I have made a list of some very general things that I would like to collapse for the timeline of 2019 based on, hey, my own trials and tribulations of this past calendar year. They should and will most likely jibe with many of you who are probably retiring some of the same ways of being. But if you have some things that you would like to add, put it in the comments. If there's anything in particular you want to collapse here tonight, not just for yourself, but for the planetary timeline, because we're going to do collapsing the 2019 timeline with some individual let's just say desires for what we'd like to collapse, and then we're going to have some planetary timelines that we're going to collapse as well. So feel free to add whatever you'd like in the comments to collapse tonight, to clear. And we're not just going to leave that energetic void wide open like a gaping wound. We are going to instill some intentions and desires into, let's just say, our desired 2020 timeline for ways of being for ourselves and for the planet. So those of you who have been following me, and if you're not following me, maybe you've seen a few of my posts here and there, maybe some friends who have shared my posts, you've seen that I am offering the Timelines Expanded Masterclass series. This is the second time I'm teaching this. This is even more fully developed this time around. Hi, Rachel. With 3 brand spanking new modules. There were 5 last time, there are 8 this time, and we are sharing this information over a month's time in 8 modules, and we start on January 13th. The Timelines Expanded Masterclass is something that is very unique. There is nothing else like it out there. No one else is teaching about how to opt out of the hive mind of mass consciousness via the 3D time-space bubble of reality that we are in, and how to opt into the galactic time grid and work with multiple translations of time that we can access now based on our different point of perspective or different reference point for tapping into the consciousness field of the galactic time grid. We can enhance our lives greatly with lots and lots of benefits as we do that. If you don't believe me, you don't have to just take my word for it. Read the testimonials. So when you go to my website, kathrynandcell.com, and you click on the border strip at the top, you will see a Timelines Expanded page. Click on that, read all about the course, read about the testimonials. They are real, they are genuine, they are true blue, they are fantastic. And it's such an exciting class to teach, and I am really excited for the crew that we've got coming up. There's over 50 people in this program. There's room for 4 more people. And when you get in now, It's $497. There's also a payment plan. But this is the last time you will ever see this course priced at $497. This is not like anything else out there. This is completely unique. This is a completely different way to self-heal. What's really exciting is seeing how people are taking the information who took the first round of Timeline's Expanded Masterclass, taking this information and integrating it into the work that they do, as not only they self-heal, but as they use this work to only enhance their toolbox that they use to do healing for their clients. It's really quite an amazing thing to see how much it can enhance people's understanding of the quantum perspective when they start working with time and timelines. So if this is for you, this is it, folks. Last 4 spots. I expect they're going to go away probably very soon, and we start on January 13th. This is the last time you'll ever see this course priced at $497. Truth be told, it is being severely underpriced. So considering the level of support and guidance you get in this group by being in the Time Benders and Timeline Healers Facebook community, the private community that's for the Timeline's Expanded Masterclass, the support, the value, the guidance you get out of that, I could be charging 3 times as much and I wouldn't blink an eye about it. But I'm not, because I want to serve a lot of people with this information. Hello to everyone. Hi, Nalini. Hi, Joan. Hello, love. Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for joining me here. So there's my little plug. There's my spiel. If you like this, you will love Timeline's Expanded Masterclass. Enough said. Collapsing the 2019 timeline. I want you to go ahead and gather all parts and pieces of you. Anywhere you are in another time, another place, your attention, your point of perspective is elsewhere. Anywhere you are exploring different polarities, dualities, different timelines that are in contrast to your highest way of being or your highest timeline of how you desire to be, pull all that back. Pull it all in. Imagine threads of your consciousness that are out, playing in the timelines, playing in the quantum field of the all that is, pulling all those points of perspective, all those reference points back to you now. I want you to call in your higher self, very simply, very easily. Higher self, higher self, higher self. And I want you to imagine if you have the experience of your inner self being your higher self, or your higher self being your inner self, I want you to imagine just taking that out, just with your playful and creative imagination. Imagine taking this bubble of light, you as your higher self, out from the inside and putting her or him right next to you. This luminous being that is larger than life. This very luminous field, this luminous body, imagine it right next to you. And now I want you to imagine having this be a higher self suit. Fits you like a glove. It is this beautiful luminous field that is within and without. And just let this expand out. Let it ripple out. If you can, listen to the music I have playing in the background. By the way, I do not own the rights to the music. And then call to yourself again, that higher self avatar, higher self, higher self, higher self. So that with this nuance of your perspective, this is the part of you that's running the show here tonight. And I want you to really anchor into all the support, all the wisdom, all the timeless, untapped information and potential that your higher self is aware of. Perhaps your ego self is not aware of, most likely not aware of. But just tapping into the field of all that is known, all that is seen, all that is felt, all that is sensed in this higher self avatar of you. And let yourself be fully enveloped in this space. Now I want you to imagine about 300 feet above the top of your head, a bright, white, luminous light, the pure light of Source, creating a pillar and coming down and shining upon you, washing you clean through like a spiritual divine power wash, going through your entire higher self, your physical body, all of the fields within and without the body, going down and out through all the layers of the earth, down through the layers of dirt and rock and crystal, extending all the way down into the heart chakra of Mother Earth. And connect with all the knowledge and abundance and timeless wisdom that Mother Earth holds for you here in this space. Asking her to anchor you in support, in protective grounding energy. Let your electromagnetic fields fully sync with the electromagnetic field of Mother Earth. And you may even feel these waves oscillating, picking up velocity even as these waves rise up and meet you at the soles of your feet, come up through the body, all the way up and through the body, up and out of the crown, and back to where the top of this pillar of light is, or where you imagine it to be. And now I want you to gently oscillate this energy down from this point of origin of this pillar of light into the core of the earth, back up again. And you can imagine this as alternating colors, alternating energies, alternating waves or pulse points, but is a gentle rhythmic exchange of energy between the origin point of the top, this pillar of light, and into the anchor that you are holding in the heart's chakra of Mother Earth. And just get your own rhythm and pace going here until you feel washed clean through, connected fully into the divine light of pure Source, and equally connected into the divine wisdom of Mother Earth. Just feel how restorative that is. Just sit here in this space and really soak it in. Feel how protected, how supported, how seen you are in this light, how known you are in this light. Simply let this be, let it expand. Hello to everyone who's joining. Hi Jamie, hi Charlotte. Hello, hello, hello. Hi Tammy, hi Donna. Hello all you lovely people. All right. Now I want you to imagine bringing this energy up from the center of the earth, up through the body, fully opening up all of the chakras as you bring this energy up from the core of Mother Earth. All the strength, all the wisdom, all the harmony, all the synchronicity, all the serendipity, bringing that all up from the central core of the earth, opening up your ability to receive in the root chakra, opening up your creativity, imagination in the sacral, opening up your will and determination in the solar plex, opening up your ability to give love and receive love unconditionally in the heart, opening up your ability to express all that you are in unconditional love through the throat chakra, bringing up your ability to connect into the third eye, the fourth eye, the gateway to the solar spine through the brow chakra, bringing up your ability to communicate with all that which is beyond the stellar gateway, starting with the crown, bringing all this information and ability up. And imagine going up past this point of origin where you begin this pillar of light. You can imagine it as another 100 feet, 200 feet. I want you to imagine a beautiful golden solar disk. And let's just say, for the sake of this activation here, we are connecting with the golden sun of Sirius. We are connecting with the gold star of Isis. You can almost imagine, as you see the figurehead or the crown of Isis as it's held in those cow horns, if you will, that solar disk. Imagine that being above this point of origin of this pillar of white light. And it's just shining there and holding space for you to fully opt into your galactic self. This great galactic sun is holding this space for you to step into in this container. And we gently bring it down and merge it with this pillar of white diamond source light. Imagine it coming down and into the crown. And imagine as it comes into the body, it turns into liquid light. Just beautiful, flowing, golden liquid light. And imagine dripping this light down to the base of the skull, where that base of the skull and that soft area at the base of the skull meets the top of the spine. And I want you to imagine a slow drip of this golden energy, this galactic sun of Sirius, this golden star of Isis, in liquid light form, dripping down. And as it goes down your etheric solar spine, imagine it coating all of the nerve endings that meet at the spine, upgrading as you go the central nervous system. You may feel an upsurge in heat in your body. If this takes you out of your comfort zone and makes you feel stretched uncomfortably, simply say to yourself or out loud, I am bathed in the grace and protection of God's light. Say it enough times so that you neutralize this energy. We are not aggravating or instigating the central nervous system to go into overdrive here. We are bringing in higher galactic light to inform your physical central nervous system to be able to take in more light with more comfort, more grace, more ease, without the need of going into spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical crisis. And you're continuing to allow this golden light to drip down all the way to the base of the spine. And you can take this down the legs. Imagine it going through all the fascia, all of the matter that creates the tensional integrity that holds the body together. Imagine this liquid light going through all the fascia of the muscles, down the legs, the knees, the calves, the shins, the ankles, the tops of the feet, the bottoms of the feet, and then taking this energy down into the Earth Star chakra, where we can ground it and have this form an additional foundation of support. And I want you to just be with this energy for just a moment. Become familiar with this feeling. You can call in Isis to help you assimilate these energies in a way with more grace and ease. Any of your guides, you can call in the serendipities to help you accommodate this energy more easily. Any of your favorite guides that you like to work with, ascended masters, etc., ancestors even, to help you bring in this light in a way where it feels comfortable, familiar. Ask your higher self to help you tap into that field of consciousness where this light is familiar and very well known to you. Your higher self already knows this energy very well. And just sit with this energy for a moment, refamiliarizing yourself with being at this higher vantage point of perspective, this higher frequency, and holding in the body with comfort, even letting it expand a little. Some of us try to shrink from this energy when we feel it at first. If you catch yourself doing that, just take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, imagine breathing yourself out more, making yourself bigger, grander, so that you can hold this sacred container of energy with more ease. How does that feel? How does that feel? Hi, Courtney. Hi, Tammy. Just let yourself really become one with this energy. And you may even want to, if your eyes are closed, open your eyes here and see how everything has this kind of different kind of filament quality to it. Almost like you can see trails of things. This is not your mind playing tricks on you. This is you being in a different vantage point of perspective. You tapping into literally a different point in the field of all consciousness. And just take a few deep breaths in and regulate yourself to this new normal, because this is where we're going to be for the rest of this live activation and healing, okay? So keep breathing through it. You may feel the energy coming in and out like waves, okay? Like a pulse. This is totally normal. And just keep listening to the sound of my voice, and I'll keep redirecting you back to where you remember your comfort level with this energy over and over again as we do this. So what I'm going to walk you through here is a very simple way of collapsing timelines. We go into this in a little bit more depth when we do the Timelines Expanded Masterclass, and I actually give you ways to craft your ask, your statements for collapsing timelines, so that they suit your purpose of what you would like to dissolve a little bit better, and you can kind of individuate them to your own specific needs and desires. So this is going to be a very generalized way of collapsing and dissolving these timelines. And all you have to do is imagine in this space, you can close your eyes again if you like, imagine from your solar plexus, there is a tube or a column of energy that is extending forward. And imagine this is your now timeline. This is the timeline that you are creating actively, moment to moment, second to second, a trajectory through, a pathway through. With each choice you're making, each decision that you're making, each way you're deciding to behave in accordance with these choices and decisions, you are creating a pathway, a passageway through time, and let's just call it your now timeline. Imagine this extending out from your solar plexus. Why the solar plexus? Because this is the point of our will. And when we are working with, let's just say, creating meaning or value in our lives, we are working with the construct of time. And the way we create value or meaning in our lives is how we are directing our will within this construct of time. That's why we work with the solar plexus. So imagine, let's just say, a snapshot in time out from this now timeline, and that maybe your point of accessing your future goes from your physical body forward, and accessing your past goes from your physical body backwards, continuing the same column or tube of energy. It's like going right through your solar plexus and then out your solar plexus through the back. So as we are, just for fun, collapsing these 2019 timelines and collapsing specific things from the 2019 timeline that you would like to kick to the curb, say goodbye to, adios, send it packing, imagine this gateway, this passageway through the back of your solar plexus. And as we collapse these items, imagine part of that timeline just dissolving, collapsing. You can imagine this any way you like. You could see it as like when a building goes through demolition, it implodes from the inside and just collapses. You can imagine it as this thing you're collapsing as a certain tone and a sound, and that's going away, or a certain color that maybe this thing, this collapsing or dissolving timeline represents, and that gets dissolved into the spectrum or stream of light of this gateway. You can imagine it as just a single cord or a ribbon of energy just dissolving, collapsing, going away, getting transmuted into the galactic field. However you imagine it is perfect and right for you, okay? Just tuning in with your energy here and see if I pick up anything in the field of the collective. I'm getting some lack, some remorse for things that didn't happen this year, and kind of that sense of urgency for, I swear this is going to be the thing that I start in 2020. I'm going to do it right away. You don't have to wait for 2020. You can start right now. I'm getting some grief. A lot of you have gone through a lot of transition this year, and so you're grieving for a loss of self. Even parts of our identity that we don't like so much. Maybe there's a certain trauma that has been part of our identity for so long that it has become an identifying factor for who we are. When we lose that, when we heal beyond that, not only do we become more masters of our domain when we move past the trauma, but we also, there's a flip side of that where we grieve for this loss of self, this loss of identity. Who am I now without this pain? Who am I without this trauma? Okay, so I'm picking up on that. Losing family members and friends, picking up on some of that. Okay. I'm physically sick with congestion, headache, and cough. Okay, we'll clear that too, Joan. Thank you. Please feel free, guys, to add anything in the comments here that you want to clear. Since you were the first one to offer that up, let's go ahead and clear that. Collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we are continuing to explore the polarity of becoming sick so that we can see we're holding ourselves back, becoming sick as a way of procrastination, becoming sick because we don't know how to slow ourselves down so our immune system will do it for us, becoming sick because we're not protecting our boundaries. Boundary protection includes washing your hands, I was just told. Okay. Washing your hands frequently in hot water is also boundary protection. Okay, thank you for that little tidbit. My guides are having some fun with me today because they knew I was doing this. And collapsing and dissolving any and all need to recreate these timelines. And so it is. Collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we are continuing to explore the polarity and duality of lack, of being poor, of being broke, of never having enough, of always spending too much, of not knowing our budget, of just surviving, just scraping by, just getting by, of being in debt, of having more money going out than coming in, and collapsing any and all timelines where we have a need through drama, the need to create drama, the need to create suffering, to perpetuate karma, to hold contracts, oaths, vows, or agreements up anymore. If this is to our detriment in this lifetime, collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines that hold that energy, and any and all timelines that provide a need to recreate them, and so it is. Collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines associated with identity of self created through trauma. Any and all need to keep building on that now timeline and stacking time. I'm seeing people stacking time through their trauma as if it's not an unworthiness thing. It's an identity thing. Who am I without this need to suffer? Who am I without this need to struggle? Collapsing any and all timelines where we're continuing to explore the contrast and the polarity of a need to struggle, suffer, triumph over something in order to feel worthy, to have something good. Any and all contracts, agreements, indoctrination, conditioning, culturally, socially, religiously, or otherwise, that holds these false timelines in place, not only for our individual timelines, but the collective timelines, collapsing and dissolving them as well. And again, I want you to hold that energy of where this is collapsing behind you, okay? You're literally collapsing this tunnel of energy little by little. With each one of these that we do, you're collapsing this tunnel of energy behind you, okay? Hi, Tammy Morrison. Collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we are continuing to explore the polarity of fear. The opposite of love is not hate, it is fear. Anywhere we're not understanding that and we are perpetuating timelines of fear, fear of other, fear of who are we without our trauma, fear of who are we if we're not viewing things through the lens of lack. Collapsing and dissolving any and all karma, contracts, agreements, any loop cycles that we're continuing to explore by not marking this karma complete, and dissolving that. And so it is collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we are continuing to explore the polarity around shyness linked to unworthiness, meaning where we don't fully express ourselves because we feel like we don't have an opinion that's valued or worthy of being shared, that our opinion, our voice is not on the same level as anyone else, and so we think of that as us just being shy. I'm just picking this up in the collective, so in collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines we share with others, siblings, family members, husbands, wives, co-workers, bosses, any and all timelines we're sharing with others where we perpetuate that way of being, and dissolving that, transmuting that back into the galactic grid of the all that is, collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we are continuing to explore the polarity of blame of self, blame of others, anywhere this is affecting us in the physical body, collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we're holding blame in the spleen, in the liver, in the gut. And I'm hearing congestion. Joan, this is for you, as conflict of belief. There's some unshakable belief systems that you may want to re-examine, revisit. It looks like it has something to do with whatever project you're working on. Looks like a modality or a method that you're working on. You're still butting up against some old belief systems. So let's just go ahead and collapse that right now for everyone here. Collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we are continuing to explore the polarity and duality of holding on rigidly to belief systems that we have outgrown, that we're holding on to on a cellular level through conditioning, indoctrination, cultural conditioning, social, religious conditioning, legacy conditioning. Ooh, okay, boom. And clearing, dissolving, collapsing any and all karma, oaths, vows, agreements, contracts that we have with ourselves, with galactic time, space, with others to perpetuate that, including arrangements that we made before we were born to perpetuate that if it is interfering and creating unwelcome contrast with our current now timeline. We mark it dissolved and complete, null and void. And so it is. Thank you. That was a powerful one. Let's just sit with that for a minute. I want you to sit with the energy of that collapsing behind you, imploding behind you. If you see it as like a ribbon, a color, a sound, change the sound, change the frequency. I'm hearing we're converting that frequency, so let's convert that frequency. Give it a different color. Give yourself a different karmic contract. You have the ability to do that right now. Remember, we are tapped into a different point of reference in the consciousness field here, in this space. You can do whatever you want here. No fucking around. You get to do whatever you want here. As long as it is for your highest good and for the highest good of all. I forgot to mention that as the outset. Whenever we do this work of collapsing timelines, we are doing it with the least amount of resistance for all involved. And we are doing it with the highest amount of good for all involved. Okay? Boom, Joan. That's beautiful. I'm so glad you're here. You were meant to be here. GERD symptoms. Okay. Inflammation. Inflammation, especially right now, is what I'm hearing. Okay. All right. I'm hearing bloating, like inflammation, bloating. We have to solve all the problems now. So we're literally overwhelming, overloading our cells. We are overloading our DNA. We are overloading our central nervous system. We are putting ourselves into survival mode overdrive when we think we need to have all the answers now, all the problems solved now, all the solutions have to show up now, all the answers have to be here now. It's causing worry, anxiety, panic, a sense of urgency. This is always going to show up as inflammation. So collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we are continuing to explore a sense of urgency, a sense that there isn't enough time, a sense that we don't have what it takes to solve our problems, that this always has to be outsourced. And when is that answer going to come from somewhere else? When is that answer going to come from somewhere else? When is that answer going to come from somewhere else? Never. Let it go. The answer comes from within when the time is right and not a moment sooner or later. Anywhere this is creating undue stress and contrast, overwhelm, overload in the physical body, in all the fields within and without, in the DNA, in the cellular memory, where this is putting our central nervous system into overdrive, collapsing any and all bloating and inflammation that accompanies that. And collapsing and dissolving any and all terms, contracts, agreements, oaths, vows, karma, where we need to perpetuate that or recreate the timeline of that, dissolving that. I'm being told it's important for you guys to hold the visualization, however you guys see it, of the energy collapsing. You can see it dissolving back into the galactic grid or the all that is. You can see it collapsing into a wormhole or a galactic or a black hole. You can see it like a ribbon being taken by the wind and sending it away. You can see it like a building imploding. However you see it, feel it, experience it, a sound changing in tone. They're telling me it's important for you guys to do that here if you really want to reap the most benefits out of this, okay? Achy neck just cleared. Awesome. Congestion, headache, sinus. Is that still there, Tammy Morrison? Family commit. Okay. Collapsing any and all timelines where we are continuing to explore the polarity and duality of holding a legacy in our family. Could be lack, could be abuse, could be miscommunication, could be trauma held as pain and grief for lost children in past lifetimes. I'm seeing a lot of children who are dying from disease, tuberculosis, anywhere we need to hold that trauma in our ancestral legacy, anywhere we are not accessing our highest and best timeline to be legacy breakers for our genealogy and where it is collapsing our genetic potential in this lifetime, marking all of that dissolved, null and void, complete, collapsing those timelines. Freeing up kinetic potential in the body especially in the gut. I'm seeing the sacral, creativity, getting an upshot, imagination getting an upshot, the ability to take inspired action, getting an upshot. Okay, that's good. And collapsing any and all agreements that we have to recreate our family's trauma in order to uphold a legacy, to hold space for our family, for our genealogy out of loyalty. Anywhere we're doing that to the detriment of our highest and best now timelines, collapsing and dissolving all that now. Anywhere we are exploring the polarity of being unlucky, being unfortunate, collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we believe or acting on the belief that we are unlucky, unfortunate, unlucky in love, unlucky with money, unlucky with serendipity or synchronicities or opportunities. Collapsing and dissolving all timelines, as well as any spells, curses. Spells, curses, oaths, vows, agreements, karma, contracts, and any and all need to recreate them, and any all false timelines that are holding this belief that we are unlucky, unsupported, unloved. And so it is. Developmental disabilities. Anywhere that we are holding on to or continuing to explore the polarity and duality of timelines where our mental, physical capacity is diminished, compromised in any way, shape, or form. We are holding that in the legacy, in our cellular memory, in the DNA. Releasing any and all DNA coding from shadow. Literally becoming the legacy breaker in this lifetime. Anywhere we are not exploring anywhere we're exploring the polarity of where we can't be a legacy breaker. Where we can't break the karma, the contract, the loop cycle of being for our family, for ourselves. Collapsing and dissolving any and all contracts, marking them null and void, downloaded and complete. We're asking to collapse and dissolve any and all timelines where we continue to explore the polarity of not being able to connect with the higher self, the oversoul, our guides, fields of consciousness in dream time that allow us to tap into the ethereal and access by location, lucid dreaming, remote viewing, astral travel, collapsing any and all timelines, dissolving any and all timelines where we are continuing to explore the polarity of I have to be special in order to do that. Releasing any and all timelines where we're holding belief systems that perpetuate or recreate those timelines, those false timelines. That we are not able to access higher versions of self, the oversoul, our self in past, our self in future, our self in alternate timelines, parallel lifetimes. And collapsing and dissolving any and all need to even create timelines where we have to recreate the trauma of what we did see, what we did know in parallel lifetimes, parallel timelines, where it's blocking our ability for second sight, or blocking any of our clairs, blocking our pineal gland, blocking our fourth eye. Collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we're continuing to explore the polarity of having poor physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health. Anywhere we are exploring the polarity of that being in those timelines of struggle, suffering, overcoming is making us stronger. These are false timelines of struggle. These are artificial timelines This is where those who would hold us back from our divinity are using our own human construct of 3D time against us. You don't have to keep buying into those timelines anymore. Is coughing due to grief? It can be, but mostly it's due to when you have that mode of expression of coughing, it's the same energy as when you're energy clearing and you burp or you fart or you're releasing. It is a releasing. So whatever is going on here for you, Joan, you are releasing. You're releasing a lot. And there, like I mentioned, some of those belief systems, you're literally coughing them out. What else, guys? Did I miss some? Commitments to children. You're going to have to expand on that, Charlotte. Commitments to children that weren't met? You mean false promises that were made to you as you were a child? Collapsing where you're holding on to that? I need you to expand on that for me. Collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we are continuing to explore the polarity of procrastinating, not following through, not making a solid commitment to ourselves or others, and where this is holding us back from our greatest potential. Clearing and dissolving any and all timelines where we're continuing to explore that or need to recreate timelines to keep exploring it. So it is. Since September. Well, I don't doubt it, dear, that you've been coughing for that long. Especially if you are creating something that is going to be groundbreaking and it is going to help people disconnect from their legacy of their family, from their legacy of their own identity in this lifetime, in order to be the highest container possible to be able to hold that energy for others. Because when you are doing this, Joan, you're not just holding this energy for others, you are converting energy for others, and you are the container for that. So you must create a big enough energetic void within yourself in order to hold that space and be a frequency converter for those you are working with. Okay? Because when you're working on whatever it is, I don't know what it is, but it feels big. Okay? Ooh, playing small. Yeah, Dina, that's a good one. Collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines, where we are continuing to explore the polarity of not wanting to outshine others, playing small, hedging our bets, feeling like we should only dip a toe in the water, and we can't dive in fully because we won't be supported, there won't be a safety net. Anywhere we are playing small, collapsing and dissolving any of those timelines of playing small, where we feel we will be judged harshly by others, we will be not understood by others, be cast out of our tribe. This goes way, way back for us as healers. These are false timelines that we're talking about here. Especially those of you who feel like you are a frequency holder, you are a frequency converter for the entire planet. You are transmuting frequencies for the highest good of all on this planet. You will be smack dab hit with this false timeline every single time. That you will somehow be persecuted for having a belief that not everyone else believes in. You should see some of the comments that I get from people when I talk about time and transcending time and the 3D time matrix. People get downright upset. People swear at me. People call me all kinds of names. I have to heal that within myself, that I can't say what I need to say because others will judge me harshly, because others will look at me the wrong way. Others will misunderstand me. I don't have to explain myself ad nauseum to everyone. All I have to do is bring forth what I believe will help humanity ascend in the highest and best way for those who are ready for it. Not everyone's ready for it, and that's okay. Okay? Got it, Joan says. Okay, cool. To my developmental disabled adult children. I think you've covered it. Okay. Okay, good. Hiding behind, I don't know. Yeah. Ooh, that's good. Again, that's a playing small thing. And that's a thing that we healers, frequency holders, frequency converters, We smack up against this every single time, sometimes like a brick wall. We do know, you know, we have the answers within. We don't have to outsource it. And sometimes we think, well, sometime further on down the line, my guides will give me that information, or, you know, I'll find it when the time is right. But sometimes when we are telling ourselves, I don't know, we do know the answer, but it means that we have to make a certain commitment that takes us out of our comfort zone from having that answer. So we'll veil the truth to ourselves. So anywhere we, or let's just collapse and dissolve any and all timelines where we already know the truth, but we say, I don't know, to protect ourselves, to protect our integrity, to protect our safety zone, our comfort zone, to protect where we are so we can stay here a little bit longer for whatever reasoning we've deduced that it's safe for us to stay where we are and not move further, not go farther, not find our new tribe, not find our new truth. Collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we're continuing to explore the polarity of, I don't know. I can't access that. That's not for me to know. This is too big for me. I can't handle it. I'm gonna screw it up if I figure this out. I'm gonna get it wrong if I know this. I'm gonna act on it in the wrong way. I'm gonna lead people astray. I'm gonna go to a place that I can't return from. I'm gonna screw it up for myself, for others. I'm gonna go far ahead on this path and not be able to find my way back if it doesn't work out. Collapsing and dissolving in any old timelines that are holding that. Again, false timelines, artificial timelines that we're talking about here. In all dimensions throughout time and space, all realities, lifetimes, polarities, and timelines. Collapsing and dissolving that, and so it is. All right. That's a lot. So let's start putting some stuff back in, okay? Let's start putting some stuff back in. If you want to do more of this, okay, this is an invitation for you to come and join Timelines Expanded. We are all asking in this space, in this collective group where we come together, connected in the heart, we are asking to access our highest and best timeline for experiencing clear, healthy, yet flexible boundaries. I'm asking to access my highest and best timeline, our highest and best timeline for follow-through with fearlessness. I'm asking to access my highest and best timeline for resilience, perseverance, throughout all timelines, lifetimes, and ways of being. Merging this. As we bring this in, now I want you to take your focus and bring it to the front of you, this now timeline that I asked you to envision at the outset of this call. Imagine merging these highest and best timelines. Again, see it as like a stream of energy, a color, a ribbon, a sound. Imagine weaving this in, integrating it into your now timeline. From your solar plexus, imagining a column or tube or tunnel of energy that extends in front of you. And you can imagine this going deep, deep, deep into the galactic time field so that it stretches out into all dimensions, translations of time, okay? Asking to access the highest and best timeline for acceptance of what is, and the strength to take action on what's next. That's a good one. I should write that down. You weaving this in? You weaving this into your now timeline? Asking to access our highest and best timeline for looking past disruptor and distractor energy. Again, these are false timelines represented by disruptors, distractors, usually put in place by things that cause a lot of chaos, misdirection of energy in society, having to do with oftentimes organized religion, medicine, medical establishment especially, the military-industrial war complex, things like pestilence, famine, violence against people, against races of people. We're not going to get philosophically into what disruptor and distractor timelines are. Let's just create this in the collective and here for your own highest and best good. Asking to access our highest ability to discern from these disruptor and distractor timelines so that we don't get sucked into these false artificial timelines. Asking to access our highest and best timeline for community, for collaboration, for the exhilaration and enjoyment of being around other people who share like minds, like interests, like goals. Weaving this in, weaving this in. You can imagine like braiding it. If you had this playful energy of being able to braid your sister's hair, your cousin's hair when you were a kid, you can imagine just braiding this into your now timeline. Asking to access highest and best timeline for moving beyond the need to have all the answers now. That I'm only fulfilled, I'm only happy if I have all the answers now, if I have everything solved now. Another distractor timeline. Asking to access the highest and best timeline for forgiving and accepting others, even with all their faults, their imperfections, their flawed nature. This can extend to your own desire to forgive yourself for something you feel like you cannot let go of, you feel infinitely traumatized by, or some misdeed that was done unto you that you cannot forgive or forget, that someone else perpetuated or someone else created in your timeline. You may share a timeline with that other person. You can collapse that timeline that you share with that other person. But asking to access the highest ability and the highest timeline for the ability to forgive, to move forward without regret, to step fully into what is next with a feeling of support. Asking to access our highest and best ability to be grounded, even when the energy fields become so amped up with frequency and vibration that we feel we are being stretched out of our body, stretched out of our consciousness. The ability in 2020, in this very, very strong pivot year for us, to be able to access our highest and best timeline for grounding and protecting ourselves with healthy but flexible boundaries. Accessing our highest and best timeline for tolerance and understanding of ourselves and others. Weaving this in, bringing it into the solar plexus, weaving it into your now timeline, seeing this stretch out before you as far as you can imagine it. Let's explore some planetary timeline collapsing. What do you want to see go away on the planet? I know for one, we just mentioned tolerance. Let's collapse. Let's take our collective energy here. Take a moment to just tap into everyone that's here and everyone that's going to be here in the replay, because there is no time other than our perspective of it, our perception of it. So if you can just tap into this field of consciousness where you feel you can stretch yourself a little bit to feel where you can pull your energy out enough And remember, you are protected in this space, you are grounded in this space, you are supported ethereally in this space to hold this energetic container for any and all who are going to be watching this now or watching it in the future. Imagine connecting with all of these souls through the higher heart, through your higher self to their higher self, with all in this space coming together in this collective energy, pooling it. Imagine a spectrum or bandwidth of frequency expanding as you do this, and as we collapse these planetary timelines. Collapsing and dissolving any and all planetary timelines where we continue to explore struggle, suffering, grief, intolerance, misunderstanding, separation from feelings of other, that there is other. Collapsing any and all timelines, planetary timelines of disruptor energy that is keeping the planetary collective from ascending into higher frequencies of consciousness. Collapsing any and all planetary timelines of racism. Collapsing any and all planetary timelines of pestilence, war, widespread disease, planetary destruction due to wildfires, flooding, natural calamities, unnatural calamities, collapsing any and all planetary timelines. I think I mentioned of war. I'm not sure if I did. It's good to say it again. Collapsing any and all planetary timelines of the need to arm ourselves. Against the fear of other. Oh, that's a big one. Help me with that, will you? Collapsing and dissolving any and all planetary timelines that absolve us of the need to arm ourselves against the fear of other. Do you feel that falling away? That's a big one. That's a real big one. Collapsing and dissolving any and all timelines where we're continuing to explore the polarity of having rigidly polarized beliefs, belief systems, paradigms and power structures that hold these beliefs in place, that perpetuate the feeling of separation, of other. Collapsing and dissolving any and all planetary timelines where we are continuing to explore the duality of harsh opinions and judgments held towards others, harsh attitudes, adopted belief systems, inherited belief systems. Again, maybe out of a deep cellular memory sense of holding the legacy and loyalty of our family by perpetuating these, but we really don't believe them ourselves. Collapsing any and all artificial timelines that are upholding these energies and anchoring them in place. Manipulation. Collapsing any and all timelines on the planet where we are continuing to hold the collective energy of domination, manipulation, coercion, and any and all like frequencies being upheld by those that are holding back the forward path of humanity on their ascension timeline. This is one that I have a lot of feeling towards. Collapsing any and all and dissolving any and all planetary timelines where we are continuing to explore the polarity and duality of not being able to take care of our health, not having the money, the resources to secure wellness of being, to stabilize wellness of being, however that translates: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. That's a good one, Charlotte. Collapsing and dissolving any and all planetary timelines. We are continuing to explore the polarity of fear of our divinity, fear of what our higher self knows, and fear of acting on that, fear of exploring that. Feeling a fear of sharing that, feeling the fear of talking about that, expressing that. All right. So let's put some stuff back in. Let's tap into the collective again. And I want you to imagine the highest possible frequency you can possibly think of. An expanding bandwidth of energy that holds mercy, compassion, unity, tolerance, kindness, safety, inclusion, belonging, trusting, safety. Did I say safety? Borderlessness, physically and spiritually. I want you to imagine this bandwidth of energy just expanding and expanding. And I want you to fold this in, merge it into your now timeline in front of you. And I want you to imagine, we're going to use our creative imagination here. We all have this ability, and when we come together and do this together, we really, really amp up the group collective frequency. Imagine merging all of this into your now timeline and then sending it out, seeing Mother Earth in front of you. Imagine you in this higher vantage point of your consciousness, seeing Mother Earth from space. Give this now timeline of everything we just put in here for this planetary highest and best timeline of all these energies of grace and beauty and kindness and compassion and tolerance, blanketing the earth in a beautiful rose gold sphere of light. Like a big, big, fuzzy, safe, warm security blanket. And you can have it be sparkly. Hey, it's New Year's. Let's let it be sparkly, like champagne bubbles. Beautiful rose gold sparkling light, just hovering in a field over planet Earth. If you can all just hold this space with me here. Wow, I really feel that, you guys. This is amazing. Let's hold this space. Let's hold the space for all humanity, for all those we love, who we know now and who will come to this planet generations ahead of us. Those who are here now but are not yet known to us. They're still strangers to us. But we're destined to meet on this path of life. Holding the space for all who are here, for those who are suffering, those who are in a place of pain and trauma, holding the space for them so that they find who they need to help them through this hard time. Just holding the space, just letting yourself be bathed in this beauty. This is for you too. And now I want you to gently pull this energy back. You can imagine keeping this rose gold sphere in place, but I want you to actively pull your sovereign energy back from this space with love, okay? And pulling it back into the solar plex, okay? Just allowing that to anchor inside the physical body. And now I want you to imagine gently collapsing the energy from the pillar of light. You can imagine the solar disk, the golden star of Isis above, collapsing that fully into the white pillar of light, bringing this down through the crown, all the way through the body, and bringing this down all the way into the center of the earth, and grounding all of this energy in perpetuity for Mother Earth and all who inhabit her. And with the final intent that this is for our highest good and for the highest good of all. And grounding this energy and saying, I am grounded, I am grounded, I am grounded. And so it is. Sorry, I didn't see that, Dina, the ocean and wildlife. Yes, that's a good one too. All right, and when this feels complete for you guys, go ahead and open your eyes. Hi, baby. My doggy's here. My doggy's here. He loves to be here next to me when I do these energy healings. He also wants a walk. How do you guys feel? Please drink some water. We did a lot of clearing, a lot of healing, a lot of releasing, and a lot of upgrading here, which requires water because this conducts the current of all of that flow, the outflow of the toxins and the inflow of the higher elevated energy in with a lot of flow. Okay, so water, water, water. How do you guys feel? You feeling okay? Are you feeling grounded in your bodies? You know, go ahead and move your head from side to side. Feel your toes. Pet your dog if he's right here. My doggy's right here. I will show you. Can you see him? Peaceful. Okay, good. Free. Yeah. Wow. God bless it. How wonderful. When you are ready to go into dream time tonight, when you put your head on the pillow and if you are someone has a gratitude list of things that you say before you go to bed at night, or you're someone that creates an intention or a desire for when you go to bed, do me a favor. When you are ready to catch your 40 winks tonight, your head's on the pillow, cast forth this intention that everything that took place here today gets grounded into Mother Earth and into the galactic time grid for the highest and best good of all. And then bring in your specific intention. What do you want more information on as you go into dream time tonight? Don't be surprised if your dream recall is better and your ability to manipulate your dreams is more lucid. Create this powerful intention for yourself. Create a timeline for yourself, or ask to access your highest and best timeline for creating more wealth from your business, creating more health and wellness of being, that the toxins that are causing contrast in your body flow out with ease and grace in a way where it doesn't have to hurt. No achy neck, not coughing, no congestion at all. Good job, Joan. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Dina is like, Finn. Dina got to meet Finn when she was here this summer. So I want to thank you all for being here and playing with me in this space. This is just incredible to have so many of you join me. If you watch the replay, please put in #replay. Share in the comments what transpired for you during this time. And I just really, really, really want to extend from my higher self to your higher self, from my higher heart to your higher heart, an absolutely blessed, exquisite 2020. This is a pivot year. This is an opportunity to bite off a bigger chunk of whatever it is that you want out of life. But if you don't have a sense of fearlessness, you're going to stagger your development. Be fearless. Did you really feel into this space? Don't you know how supported you are in all that you do? You can't get it wrong. You can't fuck it up. You are always supported. You are always loved. You are always looked after. You are so much divinely guided, so much more divinely guided than you think you are. We really, really are being invited to start acting on that in more profound ways, and not only for our own highest and best good, but to carry forth the highest and best good for the whole planet. Every single one of you here is a frequency converter, and you have the ability to convert higher, more elevated frequencies for the betterment and the growth of the planet. And I'm so looking forward to see how you will all do that in 2020. And I want to wish you so much love and peace. Bye-bye.